We're doing two NFL player props here on PrizePicks for Monday Night Football. We got the Cowboys versus the Bengals here. 50.5-point game total, playing in Dallas. Before we get started, guys, take a look in the description below. Hop into the Discord, $9.30 per month, 31 cents per day. So I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. We have other cappers in there as well. Super positive community overall. Everyone in there just trying to help each other cash. I also want to mention I'm not a gambling expert. This is not financial advice. Simply just plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully giving you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions. Again, no one's pressing submit on those parlays other than yourselves. Currently doing a promo as well. 20% off the first month of the Discord if you are a first-time member. Comes out to like $7 for the first 30 days. So again, link in the description below using promo code TUFF. Get you that 20% off your first month. Also, follow me on Twitter, you guys, by the way, at ToughPicks. Again, trying to post daily plays of the day over there on Twitter, verified account, at ToughPicks. Also, we are coming off, a 4-0 weekend, college football Saturday. We went 2-0 on both of our props, and then we went 2-0 on our Sunday NFL YouTube props. So 4-0 run here as far as the YouTube videos go. Looking to continue that. Also, want to talk about Daily Grind Fantasy, you guys, the DFS Optimizer, absolute elite tool that I do use every day to add plays into my parlays. Again, you can get 25% off your first month over at Daily Grind using promo code TUFF with the link in the description below. But basically, it does all the hard work for you because, like, for example, traditional sportsbooks don't offer fantasy score lines based on Karl Anthony Towns rebounds, points plus assists, blocks, and things like that. Over on BetMGM, his fantasy score line on BetMGM would be 43.5. Is sitting at 46 on PrizePicks, giving us this line discrepancy. Again, if it goes with regular lines as well, like Mikal Bridges under 7.5 rebounds plus assists, because it's minus 145 over on BetMGM at 7.5. On PrizePicks is at 7.5. And again, normally if these type of lines are on books at a certain under at this type of juice, PrizePicks is gonna have this at 7 normally. So again, showing these type of discrepancies, link in the description below. If you're on Underdog, Better Picks, Sleeper, whatever platform you're on, 25% off your first month, promo code TUFF with the link in the description below. But nonetheless, you guys, let's get into this video. 15.5-point game total. Both these teams, most likely, I'm pretty sure, I don't know mathematically, but they're like not going to be making the playoffs. But I think we should see, a pretty exciting game. I think, just as far as players in this game go, I think there's some stat milestones some players want to reach in this one. But yeah, let's just get into it. So first play I'm looking at here is going to be CeeDee Lamb over 6.5 receptions versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I want to keep this video short and sweet. CeeDee Lamb obviously going to see a massive target share with Cooper Rush in this game against the Giants coming off last week. I think he was injured, right? He didn't play. He only ran 21% of routes and only 28 total routes, which is, I think, the second lowest of the season for him. But in close competitive games, right, he's going to see 10-plus targets from Cooper Rush. And we know how poor the Bengals' defense is as a whole, right? They're one of the worst defensive teams in the NFL. Fantasy points to the wide receiver position. They allow the 8th most total wide receiver fantasy points to wide receiver position. They just get absolutely fried by opponents. We look at wide receivers game log this season versus the Bengals with 4+ targets. You can see here we've had 10 different wide receivers have 6+ catches, and I think none of these wide receivers here demand the target share in an offense like CeeDee Lamb and just have the talent of CeeDee Lamb, really, in my opinion here. So the floor for this play, I think, is 6 receptions, but at 6.5, I think at a 50.5-point game total at home for CeeDee Lamb, I just don't see a scenario where he can't clear the over on this line. He's over in 6 of 12, but if we go to like his last 10 home games, right, we know he 5 of 10, averaging 7.1 receptions, but with Cooper Rush, you guys, he dominates the snap share. I mean, the target share. And I do believe as well, to actually take a look, I do think Jake Ferguson is still going to be out of this. Oh, Jake Ferguson is playing. I think actually only helps him. If we talk about the last couple games without Jake Ferguson, it's allowed teams to pretty much double CeeDee Lamb the entire game. But a 50-point game total with Cincinnati being 5-point favorites at home. I love this spot here for CeeDee Lamb at 6.5. Also, just taking a look at some quick odds here. I believe this is minus 125 on Caesars, minus 130 on Caesars down here. So again, this has a chance to bump to 7. Again, I would, if it bumps to 7, I may stay away from it, or you could honestly take his Goblin here at 5.5. But nonetheless, 6.5 receptions for CeeDee Lamb is the first play. The second play I'm looking at here is going to be Joe Burrow. I like his over pass plus rush yards combo, 289.5 pass plus rush yards. Again, we get a 50-point game total here. We know how poor the Bengals defense is, so it's why I'm thinking, or at least that's why it's going into my thinking that this game could potentially be a shootout. Obviously, books are, projecting a 50-point game total, which is pretty high. Obviously, probably one of the higher ones for the NFL slate this week here. But Joe Burrow at this line, he's over in 3 straight, 5 of 12 this season, but 3 straight, 434, 384, and 318 over these last 3 weeks for him. And we know, again, how poor the Cowboys defense is as well. Like, if we go to, like, defense versus position versus the quarterback position, which, again, helps both teams, Bengals rank Bengals are second most fantasy points to the quarterback position, and the Cowboys are 5th. So, again, both these quarterbacks should have their way as far as moving the ball downfield. Both these teams should have their ability to move the ball downfield. But we know Joe Burrow in this pass-heavy Bengals offense is going to be able to move the ball down the field, throwing the ball specifically against this Cowboys defense. Like, if we look at pass yards, right, Joe Burrow over 250 pass yards in 7 games this season. We also look at his pass attempts line. I believe it's at 36.5 for this one. In games essentially this season when Joe Burrow does throw at least 37 pass yards, he's got at least 234 total pass yards in every game when he throws at least 234 in every game where he throws at least 36. I mean, this is a pretty high number as far as pass attempts go for a quarterback. But I like this play, his pass plus rush yards for the rushing yards upside. You could obviously just play his rush yards straight at 9.5. Obviously, I just think given the game environment, Joe Burrow is going to be throwing the ball as well. But the Dallas Cowboys allow the most rushing yards to quarterbacks in the NFL at 417 total rushing yards. Now, mind you, they have played some very mobile quarterbacks this season. Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Drew Lock just the other day had 57 rush yards against the Cowboys. Jalen Hurts 56, Brock Purdy 56, Deshaun Watson 39, Justin Fields 27, and CJ Stroud 26. So we've seen 8 different quarterbacks go for 26 plus rush yards here against the Cowboys, which again gives that upside for Joe Burrow to get those rush yards. He has had a decent amount of running as far as rushing upside goes. These last 5 weeks, he's over his rushing yards line at 9.5 in 3 of his last 5. And again, like if we go to his last 5, he's averaging 13.8 rushing yards. So again, if he could break one off and get like 20 plus rush yards in this one, I think it would give him a ton of upside on this line. But again, 50-point game total. If Cowboys can continue to move the ball downfield as well, this is a too low of a line in my opinion here. I think Joe Burrow could easily just pass for 300 yards, and we wouldn't even need the rush yards, which is why I'm going with the combo yards prop. Again, please drop a like on this video, guys. I want to keep this video short and brief as possible. Looking to go 6-0 run as far as the YouTube videos go. Check out all the links in the description below. Please drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.